This is full of spoilers, by the way. Hello, people of the tubes. I am once again talking about Game of Thrones, which apparently has been under attack from critics that have perceived the latest season to be lackluster, but not for the same reasons I would think so. So, people think that Game of Thrones is special because it has such amazingly nuanced characters that have completely different motivations, and they totally can't be classed as good and evil, even though they clearly can. They just have this huge boner for Game of Thrones, and now that it's turning out that there's this whole good and evil conflict going on after all, they're not quite so happy about that. And I think that's ridiculous, because what we've had in Game of Thrones previously was just low-stakes bullshit. All the wars that were fought, they were just fought because there was no real problem in the world. These houses of nobles, they were just fighting each other because they wanted power. But there was no real motivation for them to do that. They're just doing it because they're selfish and they want to have power, and that is the motivation for all of them. And they couldn't do that if there was something real at play. If there was a plague, they probably couldn't be intriguing about power, could they? If there was some kind of zombie army that wasn't held back by a massive wall, they couldn't be fighting each other for minor power issues. So basically, the only reason why people liked Game of Thrones was because it was low stakes and people were fighting each other over bullshit. So now that the big bad has come to roost, the big bad that we see in the first season, in the first episode even, we see the fucking White Walkers, don't we? It was obvious that this was going to happen. It was obvious that the White Walkers would be a big deal later on, right? I mean, it would be interesting if they weren't, I guess, but then that would also mean that there is no big victory at the end, and that would obviously suck, wouldn't it? Well, I don't know, maybe it would, but it would just not be the grand narrative that you would expect. If no overwhelming evil was defeated at the end, then everything that has happened was just for nothing, right? And where do you even stop the story then? Because you could just go on forever. There's just going to be one generation after another, and they all fight for power pointlessly. So people think that Lord of the Rings is somehow a lesser fantasy than Game of Thrones, because the characters don't fight for no reason all the time, and because the stakes are high. So basically, if you have high stakes, you're cheesy, right? That's nonsense. And I hate it. I hate that people think that having this moment where all the good guys come together to fight all the bad guys is terrible. Well, it doesn't make sense, because why is that so bad? What's so great about seeing characters kill each other for no reason all the time? That's what they had in ancient Rome. It was called gladiators. Is that what you want? You just want low stakes fights where they just kill each other for no reason? Oh boy. Instead of having a fight where there's one evil army that really needs to be defeated and everyone has to come together. But anyways, that's not even the issue, is it? Because the main issue that I've been alerted to is the fact that feminism has completely gone wild in this show. And I haven't realized this. I thought, oh no, all my favorite characters have died, all my favorite villains have died, and oh no, what a evil twist of fate. But it's alright, because everyone can die in Game of Thrones, right? Except for not, because it turns out that Game of Thrones is selecting its characters very precisely to have only the most cucked men's and the most empowered women survive, to create this feminist utopia. All the good manly men, they've either been neutered, killed, mutilated, or they're just dwarves. They've been replaced by dwarves. That's it. There's not one single manly man in the whole show, and I know this is hypocritical because I'm not a tall man. Jon Snow is not a tall man. I've even been called Jon Snow by someone already. Someone told me that I look like Jon Snow. What? Yeah, I guess I might. This is the best hero. this is what's left. this is all you've got, is this small man fighting this army of dragons and zombies. Oh my god. We're what's left. We're what's left after feminism has taken its toll. Just small man and cucks and fucking eunuchs. Oh my god, there's so many eunuchs in that show now. Oh my god. Well, 2, but still. You'd think they would have died, but nope, they're still around. So, yeah, and then that little girl has to become a ninja with magical powers, of course. But all the men that know magic, they die. Fucking Daenerys killed those wizards there. Those amazing wizards that could have been great in fighting the evil army. Nope, she just roasts them with dragons. Damn it. I'm so fucking sick of Daenerys. It's just... I hope she dies. I hope she dies horribly. I hope everything goes wrong. And even if Cersei Lannister wins with her cuck of a brother who's... God, he's the worst. Nah, actually, he's probably my favorite character at this point. But if you think about it, he fucks his sister and he throws children from roofs because they've seen it. I mean, I guess he's a good bad guy, but I just don't like that he's just so subservient to his sister. It's horrendous. If he was his own man, that would be great. Instead, all we've got is female main characters everywhere. I guess the Hound is still around, isn't he? The Mountain was cucked as well. He's now completely zombified. But the Hound is around. I almost forgot about that. Oh, yes. We don't have a single main character who doesn't have terrible scars. Unless it's a woman, right? Fucking hell. Burnt face, man. Stabbed in the heart multiple times. Dick cut off. Fucking hand cut off. There's no intact man anymore. Well, all the women are perfectly fine. Except for Sansa, possibly, who might have a little flogging marks on her. But all the men are terribly mutilated. Well, I gotta say, I was not disappointed in this season of Game of Thrones until I realized that this has happened and that all the cool men have died and all the women have gotten a free pass, a free ride. Has there even been one woman that has died other than that daughter of Cersei? I don't think so, right? I mean, I guess some of those assassins have died, but damn. Fucking female protagonist syndrome is outrageous. It's gotta be stopped. I sure hope feminism doesn't win. I wouldn't know what to do if feminism won.